My parents came to Israel, to Palestine then, during the 30s, my father as an illegal immigrant and my mother as a child to study in Jerusalem. They came with a very, very simple, primitive concept of Zionism. Their concept of Zionism was, we shall build a Jewish state, a safe home for a Jewish state. The border of the future state will be wherever we can build a settlement, work the land, and defend ourselves. That's it. This was the concept. For them, it was obvious to push their kibbutz as far as possible to the east. So I was born in the Jordan Valley. During all my childhood, the Syrians were up above, used to shoot on us every time when our parents tried to work the land during the spring and the autumn, and we spent many days in shelters. By the way, it was not so bad. We missed school, and it was great. But it was clear for us that this is a price that we have to pay if we want to see a Jewish state. It is a legitimate price. In '67, their concept stayed the same. Members from my kibbutz went to build settlements in Sinai, in the Jordan Valley, Judea, Samaria, in the Golan Heights. It was a labor party. The labor party because the concept of Zionism was, as I described before. Now, what happened, and not many Israelis realize this, we won. We achieved victory. This concept of Zionism, somewhere between 1988 to 2002. 1988, Palestinian Declaration of Independence. They accepted two states. And what they want is a Palestinian state on 22% of the land on the eastern side of the Jordan. 6-7. In 2002, the whole Arab community accept this concept, as it was decided in Beirut Arab League decision. The fact that we achieved victory create a new situation. And this is the present. We have to take a decision. We have to understand that once we won, once we are accepted in the Middle East, not because they joined the Zionist movement, because they understand that we are here to stay. It is for us to decide not whether we shall be here or not, but the real question, who are we? What is the concept of Jewish democracy? What I say to my people, to my friends in Israel, it will be a disaster if our eastern border will be the result of our security power, military power, because it will be the Jordan River, and at that moment, Israel will not be a Jewish democracy. If we are not majority in our country, we do not have the right to dictate anything, not the symbols, not the calendar, not the holidays, not the language, not the stories that we tell our children at schools. Our story, what happened here during the last 3,000 years? What happened here during the last 60 years? There are more than one version. I want to tell my children my version. But I can do it only if we are majority in our country. And in order to be there, look, I have to emphasize it. Our eastern border is not a question of security. Our eastern border is a question of identity. Our identity is a Jewish democracy. And this is why, for us, it is a condition to see a Palestinian state on the other side of the border, not because they deserve it, not because we love them, because this is existential for us. If we do not do it, there is no Zionism. This is a question that we have to decide now. We shouldn't run from this question. The question whether do we have a partner or not is nonsense. We have the power to do it. We have to ask a different question. What should we do in order to see a partner? We are doing nothing. I can describe a scenario in which we shall create two states reality without a Palestinian partner. And we have the military power in order to take the risk. Our identity is existential. And this is something that we have to realize. And we do not understand it. Not in Israel, not in America. We will find every reason in order to hide from this question. We shall find every reason to blame somebody else for not doing it. We are doing it during the last 60 years, or at least 15 years. So this is why I came here. I came to put this question on our table, because it is on our table. I think that the crisis of today creates a great opportunity. I think that it creates a great opportunity because in every crisis there is an opportunity. The opportunity is that more people understand that the present course will lead nowhere. It is becoming too dangerous. So this is the opportunity. The fact that we couldn't do it earlier means nothing. More than 70% of the Israelis wish to see two states. Along the lines, Clinton parameters, Ayalon, Seba, whatever. Almost the same. Yes, we have our red lines. No Palestinians shall return into the state of Israel. This is a red line. Palestine will be demilitarized, and the international community shall guarantee its safety and security. Yes, we have our red lines. Red lines, for me, I was not grown in the academy. For me, red lines is a place where we have to fight. We have to send our children to fight, and some of them shall not return. This is a red line. But we have to define our red lines, otherwise we are sending our boys to kill and to be killed for places that we know that will not be the state of Israel. We do not have the moral right to do it anymore. We had in the past, not now. Settlers are our pioneers. We send them. All the Israeli government. We send the settlers to fight for us. And I can prove, by the way, that the settlement movement and the settlers brought the victory that I mentioned earlier. Because you have to understand, when Palestinians decided to accept the idea of two states, when the Arab world decided to accept the idea of two states, why did they do it? Because they understood that the time is going or working against them. They saw settlements, and they came to the idea that if they will not do it, there will be no Palestinian state, only settlements. So the settlements created the idea that they have to take this decision. We owe them, we owe the settlers, because they achieved the victory for us. But because we owe them, it is for us not to treat them as hostages, not letting them come back until we shall have an agreement. So the Palestinians will decide what will be with them. No, I think that it is for us to give each of them who wish to return the legitimacy and the money in order to buy a new house back in Israel, because their mission is over. They deserve it. I think that this opportunity creates new ways. I think that when we see this opportunity, we have to take it forward. And let me finish by saying that in order to reignite this process, in order to see it happening, we have to reopen this internal Israeli debate. But we need American leadership, because Palestinians and Israelis do not understand each other. And we need somebody that will translate our Hebrew to their Arabic. And more than anything else, we need a clear vision of the future. As I said, I sailed too many years at sea. More than 30 years I was in the Israeli Navy. Sailors are not very clever. Sailors used to say that a captain who does not know where he wants to sail, there is no wind on earth that will bring him there. If you ask me why Oslo collapsed, why it failed, Oslo did not have any clear future. In Oslo, the whole idea was based on constructive ambiguity. We should never touch the sensitive nerves, the core issues, Jerusalem, settlements, right of return, refugees, because it is too sensitive. Yes, it is sensitive. But unless we do it, we do not have a clear vision. And if we don't have a clear vision, we do not understand why we have to suffer. It will be very painful. So we will have the power, the energy to do it only if we shall have this clear vision that will tell us where we will be in 40 years from now. And this is the role of leadership in America and in Israel, to come to the Middle East and to tell us, by the way, what all of us know. But leaders are afraid to tell us what we already know. So if I expect something from the American leadership and from the Israeli leadership, is to tell us exactly what is the meaning of two states concerning borders, security, refugees, right of return, settlement, settlers, everything. Unless we do it, we will not have the power to cross this very painful road. Thank you very much.